There has probably never have been a more bizarre reason for a killing spree than that revealed in the 1970 to 1971 trial of four Manson family members with their psychotic leader, 34-year-old Charles Manson. California has probably never witnessed the most strangest trials ever. Charles Manson has always lived in a messed up home and had an unstable 16-year-old parent who eventually went to jail, leaving him in different institutions. From day one, he had been committing different harmless crimes. After his release on March 21, 1967, that was when the family had begun to form around him. Four of the family members had went to the Bel Air residence of actress Sharon Tate, who was accompanied with four friends while her husband was away. After the four family members were done with their business, everyone was found dead in the house. The first victim in the Tate-LaBianca killings was 18-year-old Stephen Parent, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Altogether, the four victims had received 102 stab wounds, and Sharon Tate was the last to die. One of the family members even tasted her blood and wrote "pig" on the porch wall with Tate's blood. Charles had scheduled another Helter-Skelter mission for the next night. The same four family members had joined Charles in his next mission. The next victims were Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. Police found Leno LaBianca with a knife in his throat, 12 stab wounds, and 7 pairs of fork wounds. The word "war" had been written and carved on his stomach. Rosemary LaBianca was found with multiple stab wounds in her chest and neck. The words "Death to Pigs" was written in blood on the LaBianca's living room wall, which is very similar to what happened in Tate. Jury selection began June 15, 1970 in the 8th floor courtroom of Judge Charles Older in the Hall of Justice in Los Angeles. Opening statements began on July 24th. Manson had entered the courtroom with a freshly cut bloody X on his forehead, which meant that he had X'd himself from our world. The principal witness was Linda Kasabian, who was a Manson family member who accompanied the killer. Promised the jury that the evidence would show that Manson had a motive of the murders that was perhaps even more bizarre than the murders themselves. Kasabian told the jury that no family member ever refused an order from Charles Manson. "We always wanted to do anything and everything for him," she said. She also testified that she didn't want to attend the LaBianca murders, but she was too afraid to say no to Charles. Kasabian was a very credible witness. On August 3rd, Manson stood before the jury and held up a copy of Los Angeles Times with the headline, "Manson Guilty, Nixon Declares." The death sentences imposed by the Tate-LaBianca jury would never be imposed because of the California Supreme Court ruling in 1972, declaring the state's death penalty law unconstitutional. Charles Manson is incarcerated at a maximum security section of state penitentiary in California. The Manson family defendants might never again experience freedom.